Countries around the world are now rallying to help India battle its ever-worsening COVID crisis. The UK, among the countries pitching in with that medical equipment, the medical oxygen you're seeing right there. Canada is also offering to pitch in, saying it's exploring all options to help. But as of yet, India has not asked for assistance directly from Canada. The country has set a global record for infections for a fifth straight day, well over 300,000 cases.
I don't know government is sleeping or what they are doing. I am totally disheartened in the situation which I am seeing. Government is a literal failure. A person cannot live here in Delhi. A person cannot even die peacefully in Delhi.
In the capital, the estimate is one person is dying every 4 minutes. The Prime Minister, Narendra Modi, calls the coronavirus catastrophe a storm that is battering his country. It's been described as a tsunami. It's been very evocatively described as something that is swallowing people. That is how quickly it's moving through the population. Ishan Garg is once again with us from New Delhi. He's a freelance journalist there, and he's been reporting live for us through these past recent days. Let's go through the latest numbers, if we could, the latest details, Ishan, on the crisis and the international aid that has begun to arrive.
Well, more than 350,000 cases of COVID-19 have been reported once again in the country, another grim milestone, and more than 2,800 deaths only in the past 24 hours. This is the biggest daily tally for India as well, the death tally. And this couldn't be a better time for the international assistance to start trickling in. Singapore was actually one of the first countries to offer this sort of assistance in the past few weeks. India started airlifting empty oxygen tankers from Singapore when the oxygen crisis in the country started to worsen. And in the past few days, India has also airlifted oxygen from Singapore. Now, United States has also come to India's aid. President Joe Biden has said that they are sending over medical equipment all the way from ventilators to new testing kits and PPE kits and oxygen concentrators to India. But health experts here are saying that America is actually sitting on a pile of AstraZeneca vaccines in hundreds of millions. That's something that could be useful for India because those vaccines are not approved for usage in the US, while they are one of the vaccines approved here in India. So that's something that Indian health experts are asking for. At the same time, other countries like Canada and unions, such as the European Union, have offered to help. But we haven't heard yet from the Indian government if they are looking to get this help. But looking at the situation of the worsening COVID-19 cases, it looks likely that the government will say yes to that help.
Ishan, we heard a little bit in the introduction to you the criticism that is growing, really, of the Modi government's handling of this crisis. And we're also hearing about anger because the government has ordered Twitter to remove posts that are critical of its handling. So bring us up to speed on that part of the story, the criticism that the government is now really beginning to face publicly.
Well, the first thing really is that a lot of people, because they feel that the government has failed them, are taking to Twitter hoping to find a good Samaritan. So they're asking for help in all sorts of ways. They're looking for hospital beds or oxygen or even plasma donations. So Twitter is really where people are taking to at the moment, calling for help. So in a way, Twitter has also become a place where they're also raising dissent against the government. They are complaining against the government. So in a recent legal complaint that the Indian government made to Twitter, it asked the company to take down a number of social media posts claiming that the government is looking to only take down tweets that are malicious to the COVID-19 response by the government. The government is saying that there is a great deal of misinformation being spread online, and its order to Twitter is only to curtail that misinformation. But critics are saying that this is actually a move for the government to clamp down on dissent, and this is not something new. Social media companies have in the past taken down posts on the behest of the Indian government, and activists say that this is because India presents such a massive market for these internet companies. About 400 million potential users are available for companies like Twitter Twitter and Facebook, and perhaps that's why it does sometimes clamp down on criticism of the government when the government does ask them to.
Ishan, thank you so much again this morning. Ishan Garg, live in New Delhi.